places to see. With blue skies ahead, yes, I'm on my way, and there's nowhere else that I'd rather be. Tell everybody I'm on my way, and I'm loving every step.
Hi everybody, my name is Bob Wilkie, and I'd like to welcome you to an introduction to Team Synergy. I'm with a really good friend of mine, one of my old coaches and a mentor of mine, Wally Kozak.
Bob, good to be with you.
Yeah.
And being a part of your program is really exciting. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, you know, and it's funny that you say my program. I really think that what's happened here with all the experience that you have, and, you know, to go through the list here that I have, it's, you know, with Hockey Canada, 10 years in development, videotaping, coaching, and curriculum development, coaching 3 different sports for 27 years, all age groups, boys, girls, men, and women. You know, 3 Spangler Cups, a gold medal with the women's team in Nagano, playing for Team Canada with Father David Bauer, you know, on and on and on here. So it really is the program that we're developing from this point. I think I've got it to a certain point, but I think definitely the experience and you know, I mean, you just got a lifetime. It's only going to help this program make it better.
I'm really looking forward to it. The fact that I've coached a variety of sports, you know, team sports, individual sports, and at all levels, right from minor sports up to professional and Olympic athletes. And the background of my experience in teaching and physical education and coaching high school sports was really huge in developing a background for learning how to use sports to develop people. And that's what your program really is all about. And I think there's so much good that can come out of that.
Yeah. You know, the unfortunate part was in all the years that I played, and I played 10 years professional all over, there was very few coaches that I had that were able to communicate with me in a way that was like this. You know, when I was 16 and I was playing for the Wranglers, when you were coaching, it was great to be able to have the kind of conversations with a coach where you could question things, you could ask why, you know, because a lot of times prior to and after that, anytime you asked why, really, you know, you got the backlash of it all. So it was really nice, and I know for me, that's why I've gotten into this field, and that's why I'm offering this to the young kids and talking about it, is just simply because, you know what, in order to be better, you got to ask questions.
Communication is a huge part of coaching, teaching, learning, developing today. And coaching has changed a great deal. And I believe that if you look at the NHL, the up-and-coming coaches are better communicators. They're progressive in the way they look at things and able to communicate with their players. And I often evaluate coaches in terms of how well the players play for them. And there's some great coaches getting an awful lot of mileage and making their players better.
Yeah, it's unbelievable to watch. And you know, really, for me, it all started when I retired. And the unfortunate part was because I didn't have certain life skills. I wasn't taught. I left home at a young age. And again, like I say, you know, getting to that higher level, you're just expected to perform. They really don't care how you're feeling. They really don't care what you're going through. They just, you've got to win, you've got to perform. And if you don't, you're out of the lineup. So to be 30 years old and not know who I was and what I was going to do when I retired, that's when my journey started, and that's really when the program started to be developed. And I know what it's done for me just for my daily living. And when I started to realize that it was that 13, 14, 15 age that really was the core of my makeup, and not having those certain tools implemented at that time enough to make a difference, it hurt me in the long run. And I think we both agree on that's why we're trying to get to the younger kids to really show them.
Yes, definitely. I think the perspective of sport is what we're talking about here in terms of developing people, developing personal skills, confidence, self-esteem, and knowing how to deal with the difficulty of competition. And that's what sport teaches you. And it's a great area, it's a great stage to learn from. I think quite often sport at any level becomes a distraction because it focuses on the outcome. It doesn't focus on the development process, learning, getting better, improving, believing in yourself, and working together to become a better person and a better player, a better musician,
Yeah.
you name it. It has so much application here. It's about personal development, and your experience in sport was not as positive as it could have been. It was all about coping and dealing with things that were very difficult to deal with, very demanding, winning being the ultimate and only focus. And I think that in the business of sport, that's a reality, but it's still a sport. And you play a game that the athletes love and coaches love to coach.
Yeah.
And I really believe that if you remember that and they enjoy it, it'll be a better product.
Well, and I really think, it's amazing how it's filtered down. The NHL mentality is really filtered down all the way, and we've both seen it to such a low level of youth hockey, almost to the introduction of it, where the parents, have this perspective that their kid's going to play in the NHL, and then the coaches, it's all about the winning record. I mean, I know for me growing up, we grew up playing on the outdoor rink. And, we had a short season, and it was all about having the fun. And I think that's really shifted, and I think these kids are suffering a lot from that.
There's no doubt about it. The business of hockey, the economics of professional sport, and the attention that it gets, the social attention that they get, is a distraction for sport. It's a distraction for youth in sport. And it's really a circus.
Yeah.
And something that your program, I believe, will definitely provide some tools for everyone, whether it's players, coaches, parents, or associations who are responsible for sport.
Yeah.
They'll be able to develop some perspective and provide some guidance and direction that is missing. And the sport can be enjoyed more, and it can serve its purpose more.
And it's really amazing to get all the feedback. I mean, that's what I enjoy the most. And I've had things where coaches have called and said, my team, we did it in the off season with their team. My team came in, and their physical testing was off the charts. I've never had a team so prepared going into the season. This season, they ended up only losing 3 games all year, and making it to nationals, which was their goal. I've had moms call me up and say, you know what, he's doing so much better in school. And not only that, but he's vacuuming around the house. He didn't even know what the vacuum was before he started it. You've been exposed to the program. What kind of things have you seen?
Well, I've sat in on a number of your sessions, and quite frankly, anybody who can get a group of 15-year-old boys to embrace each other and hug each other as a part of a team-building exercise, it's pulling off something that's really astounding. And you add parents into that mix in a minor hockey team, you've got people really appreciating their strengths and recognizing we have weaknesses and we're not perfect, but you're a team. Yeah. And it's about being a team and enjoying the sport and moving forward and growing from that experience. And, it's unfortunate. When I coached you in the business of hockey as a major junior player, really I hate using the term meat market, but it is a business of hockey. You were 16 years old and moving on a professional career, and left on your own to cope and try to deal with everything that you had to deal with. And for you to come out of it like this, doing what you're doing, for me is very satisfying, very gratifying. But I don't think you had enough support to arrive at this point and to be doing what you're doing. And I'm really glad that's happened, and I'm hoping it can make a difference.
Yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun. And, there's going to be more here. We'll have some other sections. We're going to talk specifically about the coaches. We're going to get into parents. We're going to talk about girls hockey. We're going to talk about boys hockey, and really how it can be applied to anyone, with the perspective that we're talking about. So stay tuned. There's going to be some more segments coming up. I'm Bob Wilkie. This is my friend Wally Kozak.